Again, not that we're in competition, but
he does it every once in a while. He throws up old.
It's still, we did it, and then you've got to go ahead and throw something out. That's just bullshit, in my opinion.
You know what they say: idolize them until you can beat them.
Is that beat them with a stick?
That's the.
I got a lightsaber.
Well, the Sith, I think, said that.
I was like, I'm making one blade lightsaber. I'm making a 2-blade. And I thought I had red tubes, but I don't. I was like, damn.
Darth Maul.
I was like, now I got to put fluid in it and figure out how to light it up.
Hot Wheels jumped on the Star Wars bandwagon.
I saw that.
I picked up a few.
So did I. That's where I got.
Nice.
AT-AT, I got the Snow Speeder, I got Millennium Falcon, the old X-Wing fighter.
See, we should have got all that stuff and put it in the mod. That would have been awesome.
Yeah, son of a bitch, that thing hurts. So there's a new rule in my house. I'm not allowed to take off or strip any wires unless it's in a bucket. It's gotten so bad, like at least 3 times a day I'll be walking and I feel one of them just go through the bottom of my foot. And I walk around funny until I can find a pair of pliers to take it out.
So is that a self-imposed rule?
Yes, that is a self-imposed rule. Because it's happened way too many times.
Heck is that? I have my dad's buddy that he used to build hot rods with. He's got a brake, and he's got his rigged up with like a special set of bungee cords, so that when he lets it go, it automatically goes to like certain angles. He's like, "Oh, I put 2 cords, it goes to 45. I put 4, it goes to 90."
Nice.
I'm like, what?
Yeah, I want to get a box brake, but holy crap, man! Even the cheapest one's like $800.
Yeah, they're expensive.
Or finger box brake.
That company that sponsored their paint booth, or used their paint booth, they just bought a new machine, a new Piranha. It's a brake shear expander. It expands metal as well, all in one. And they're selling their Iron Horse Piranha, the one that they use that can shear through 4 inches of steel like it's nothing. They're selling it. No, he calls me up. Hey man, would you be interested? And I'm like, oh yeah. How much do you want for it? And he's like, about $15,000. And I'm like,
Do you take a check?
Right.
Do you take a kidney?
Can I write you a blank check? Can I write you a bounce check? But yeah, but they just got a new one. He said he spent $180,000 on it.
I believe it.
And he says that this one will shear through 8 inches of steel, like it's a hot knife through butter.
So it was not Nate that did the milling for Hans. Hans has a CNC.
Oh, he has a CNC. Cool.
Yep.
Yeah, he posted pictures of how he did it.
What's that?
I said he posted pictures of how he did it on Facebook.
Yeah, I was thinking it was Nate had taken the pictures, because I know Nate has a few CNCs and a laser.
Mm.
Dude, did you see that Glowforge thing I posted?
Yes.
Dude, I need one of those so bad.
I think I'm going to wind up ordering Joe turned me on to the X-Carve, and I'm like, yeah, okay, I can probably swing that.
I was looking at that and the plasma cam.
I saw the plasma cam. It's a little...
Yeah, it's a CNC machine with a plasma cutter.
What? There's another one.
Screw that bit noise. Let's just cut it with a frickin' ion beam.
The only thing with plasma cutters is they can cut through thick objects, but you have to follow up on them. They don't leave clean cuts.
Right.
But they also don't leave slag.
So well, they leave pretty clean cuts, and if you're doing metal, the CNC metal machining works really well. But if you're doing anything other...
Yeah, it'll just burn it.
It also depends on the metal as well.
Right.
So there's just one that we got at work. It's called a CNC Shark, and we can do wood with it. That's what we got it for. But they're coming out with one called, I think it's called the Piranha. And it's going to come with attachments so you can do the milling. You can do wood, plastics, light metal.
Nice.
You take the head off, put the new head on. Now you have a 3D printer.
Oh wow!
And then you take that head off, put the other head on, and then it's a laser. It's a laser cutter.
Damn.
And it'd be about, I think they said about $3,500.
What?
Yeah, but it's only going to be like a small base. I think it's like maybe 15 by 15 or 12 by 12. But getting all three of those things in one machine, it's
Dude, the Glowforge was like is 2,500, and it's pretty much damn near the best freaking style of that kind of device I've ever seen. But it can't do that.
yeah, it was on Kickstarter, I thought.
Is that the one that looks like the bed from Avengers, where they make the Vision?
No, it's the one it's a CNC shark, but I think they call it the Piranha. It's like the CNC shark Piranha or something like that.
Because I think the X-Carve it's like 34 by 34. It's the biggest
the
model
big
you can get
one.
is really big.
Yeah.
Well, you can actually order or build.
You can make it even bigger.
You can make it even bigger. You just have to build the arms for it and adjust your stepper motors.
Yeah, because it's based on just extruded aluminum.
Oh yeah, here it is. It's made by Rockler.
yes.
It's a nice.
It's made by Rockler. Just turn your mic volume down.
What the hell is Dwayne doing?
That's our T-shirt cannon for next year.
Oh, sweet.
See,
Is it really?
piece of plexiglass. Because I was thinking about like how in the hell can we do this? But we can't charge it up all the time. You can't have anything that's flammable, right?
Well, no, you can use a compressor.
Yeah, but who's going to sit there and plug it in all the time? All this is the guy took it's like a 4-inch PVC tube, right? And then
It's
you
like
use some surgical tubing and put a round disc in it with the rope on the bottom. So you put the rope, you stand on it, you pull the tube up, and then you step off the rope and it shoots it out.
Till it whacks you in the nuts.
Well,
Uh,
but at that tin box, I'm going to give it a shot.
No kidding.
You can do a big slingshot also.
Yeah.
If you want to deal with things wrapping your arms.
most of us are kind of danger prone, so that would end badly.
No. That would be just you, Joe.
Yeah.
You'll be the next
Yeah,
one to go.
I built a big
Gonna get cleared by OSHA.
slingshot.
Yeah, I'm surprised OSHA hasn't condemned me.
Not your company, you.
Just me in general.
Yeah.
That's actually not bad for $3,200. CNC Piranha, CNC touch plate, laser module, 3D printer module,
What are
X-Card
we looking
design
at?
software,
Yeah. It's not
Vector
bad.
Art 3D sampler pack, color touch screen pendant controller system. Look at
But I think the base
can
was
see
smaller,
one of those
right?
in Modders Inc.'s future really quick.
that.
You see, I have a check here for how much?
That's where I was going with it. I'm like, hey, wait a minute, we just got paid.
Oh, where did the camera go off?
And are we expecting another payment soon, too?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
the
yeah.
Pulsar one. It's in cleaning supplies because my car got hit by a skunk.
Or you hit the skunk? What?
No. Oh, we had skunks on the property the other day. And as you know, I'm like the cat lord. We have too many damn cats. They will fuck with anything that comes on the property. It doesn't matter the size, they will mess with it. I'm pretty sure one of them pissed off the skunk. And I walk out in the morning and there's like this greenish orange shit on my car. I'm like, yep, that's a skunk. So I wash it off because the stuff is kind of acidic.
You can't
It'll
wash
eat
that
paint.
off. You need to wash. You need to use tomato paste
Yeah.
to get that off, dude.
That's also what I bought. So I get in the car. It seeped through the door, like the outside doors, and into the car.
Oh, it went through the bottom door sill.
So I had my coworker jump in the car, and he just goes, "Joe, I didn't know you smoked."
That's
Me being completely oblivious because I've had to have jobs where I'm drug tested constantly. I'm just like, "Oh yeah, there's a type of weed called skunk." And he goes, "So wait, did you actually get your car sprayed by a real skunk?" I was like, "Yeah, it was gross."
That's the way less cool answer.
Being employed is a really cool answer, though.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I already bring enough attention to myself. Last thing I need is a drug test.
Yeah.
with all the fires and OSHAs.
So who played the Battlefront, or who was able to play Battlefront?
Ron and I were able to get into it.
I played with Tom.
I played it separately than them, but
It's pretty boring though. I don't know. It's Star Wars.
I'm sorry, they just diced it up way too much, man.
It's there's like, if it wasn't a Star Wars property, I don't think I would even play.
Yeah.
Did you see that the announcement was made today that they're changing the Walker Assault mode because it's too damn hard for the rebels to win?
It's not freaking hard for the rebels to win. It's just the people that are usually playing rebels don't want a fucking complete objective. They just want to run around and shoot shit.
Exactly.
So they don't run to the fucking bases to destroy the freaking things. The guys flying around in the freaking speeders aren't shooting AT-ATs like fucking morons. Jesus.
Tell us how you really feel, dude.
It's just like you can sit there and play this game and like, I can tell you guys have never watched the movie.
I thought it was badass to take one down with a tow cable. That was freaking awesome.
It's a cool game, and it's a beautiful game.
It is beautiful.
The novelty wears off pretty fast though.
There is no longevity. Once you get about 2 hours of gameplay into it, it's just like,
Yeah.
meh.
I'd like to see the other game modes that they're talking about, though. You know,
You're like I was saying earlier, you can't beat Galactic Conquest.
I mean, the guns were kind of,
Anyone can be a sniper. All you need is a cyclotron rifle.
yep.
yeah.
I was just like, no, this is just balls. I'm sorry.
Well, the other thing that was irritating is they have the Return of the Jedi Luke Skywalker in fucking Hoth. Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Really?
and the one thing that really kind of put it over the edge for me is there's no vehicles. You run through a little blue icon, and then all of a sudden you're in a cockpit. Dude, I want to run through a battlefield, run up to an airstrip, and get in a freaking, a snow speeder, and fly out of the freaking... I mean, that was what was so great about the Battlefield games, is that you could get in an F-16 and take off and fly. You never got to land because you got shot out of the air, but...
They were given like 2 years, I think.
Yeah.
The typical Battlefield game takes like 4 years to make, and they were given 2 years to finish it in time for the movie.
And like most developers today, they're focusing more on graphical content than actual game content. They want it to look really, really good, but it only take you 2 hours to play the game. You know what I mean?
Well, they know it's gonna sell because of the property anyway.
Yeah, that's what they're banking on. It's a Star Wars game, so it's gonna sell.
Well, I was thinking about that with the graphics. It's like if they took all their time and spent their time making unique assets and like big worlds, they could make like enormous games with like moderate graphics. I think that'd be way cooler. It's like a GTA 5 with every room is a real room in every building or something crazy like that.
Look at MechWarrior Online. That's another beautiful graphically game. It's not as high a level as Battlefront, but it's still a nice, pretty game, and it's a lot of fun to play. Like, I keep going back to it because I enjoy playing the game.
So, has anybody backed Star Citizen besides myself?
I did.
Did you watch the Citizen Con?
No, I didn't. I'm still waiting for my copy.
Your copy? You just downloaded it, dude.
No, I was supposed to get a free copy when I got through the AMD Evolve thing. They gave me a free key, so I redeemed it, and they were supposed to email me my download thing, and I never got it.
Huh. For Star Citizen? Interesting.
Yeah. For Star Citizen.
So, they've come out and said that now all backers have, full access.
Oh, okay. I need to go back and check it out then.
So it's still, they've released what they're calling the social module. Right now, you just walk around part of the city. There's nothing to do. You can chat with other players, but for a beginning step, it's not bad. The flight mechanics are fucking ridiculous. They
ridiculous good or ridiculous?
Yeah.
They're hard.
Hard.
It's you slipstream if you're flying in a straight line and you turn left, you slip for a while.
Oh well, yeah. I mean that's if you've ever played Freelancer,
right?
That's exactly. I mean that's the way a flight space sim is supposed to be. You're supposed to be able to slide.
Exactly. So
is this game kind of like what's that game that people play with they buy ships and stuff?
Oh, Eve.
Eve is that like Eve Online or is it a bit
Eve
different?
Online is an MMO, so it's turn-based. This one is Twitch-based. It's supposed to be a space simulator.
It's like World
you
of
have to
Tanks.
You have to deal with
space.
what's that thing in Star Wars? Blockade.
Yeah.
Is that annoying thing in the first episode?
I would say the closest game that's come out to it would be Freelancer. If you want to see what
You
Star
guys play Elite Dangerous?
Elite Dangerous, yeah.
and Elite Dangerous, but that's more of racing than space
What?
exploration. And
Are you sure that's we're talking about?
we're talking about the same game. Might be talking about another game.
Well, Star Citizen has racing in it as well. So right now there's two modules. There's the social module, which allows you to walk around the city, and there's the arena module that allows you to fly up against other players, or do a battle royale. They just released multi-crew ships. They're getting ready to release capital ships.
Cool.
And then, of course, the Star Marine module. But the idea is when you load the game, you can fly anywhere in the universe and not load it again.
That's awesome.
When you fly into atmosphere, you don't get a loading screen that says loading and gives you some bullshit cut screen. You fly it all the way to the ground.
Nice. So it's basically pretty much taking Freelancer to the next level.
Yeah, well, of course, the guy that built the Wing Commander series is behind it. And I mean, I was a huge Wing Commander player back in the day.
Wing Commander came out. It was free on Origin a while back.
Yeah, it was. I downloaded it.
Yeah, I got it.
I'm like, what the hell is this crap?
Yeah, it
Pretty
comes
much
with
my
comes
Origin
with a
account is
ver-
all free games except like
comes
3
with a
games.
DOS box virtual machine to run it.
Yes, it does.
It's awesome.
2K, when I said earlier about Evolve almost died before it was even started because 2K refused to pull their boot up from Turtle Rock. I mean, Turtle Rock made Left 4 Dead, and everyone enjoyed Left 4 Dead. It's the same guys that made Left 4 Dead that made Evolve. And a lot of people just jumped off because they were like, no, it's for us to get a new monster and 4 new characters, we're basically paying for a whole new game. And even I agreed. I mean, I pre-ordered it, so I got the special deal where I get Season 1 and 2. But, I mean, it was pretty bullshitty. And 2K basically got down to a point where there was only 1,000 people worldwide online.
Yeah.
Before they were like, okay, we're going to drop the prices and we're going to give away the basically the character map packs.
I'm sorry, but we've been burned by bad games too often. It's too often we've paid for a pre-order game, and then they don't deliver, and then they come out with all this DLC crap. It's like, dude, come on! I said,
What was that? Did you see that Roller Coaster Tycoon one? Where if you buy everything, I think it's like $3,000 for
oh yeah.
Oh, gee.
for DLCs. It's like $60 plus $3,000 worth of DLC expansions. Like, what the hell?
You wanna play a good story-driven first-person shooter? Pick up Bulletstorm.
Oh, yeah, that was fun. That was
It's a badass
It's
game.
Lozinski, right?
That is a beautiful.
That was some fun. That was very arcade-like.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very arcade-ish shooter, but it's fun. Like it's so the game is.
Yeah,
so
I love
much
that game.
fun.
It was
I
like-
played
it was
through it
like-
like 4 times.
It has a bit of a Time Crisis feel on it. It's like it's non-stop action.
Yeah. You keep going and going and going, but it always pushes you. Like there's so many different ways to kill in that game. That's the whole theme is to kill with skill. I played that game a lot, dude. I was almost tempted to stream it, but I was like, no, this game is full of foul language.
Just put the freaking disclaimer up there. If you don't like what you hear, change the channel.
Yeah.
It's freaking YouTube. It's like,
Yeah, I mean.
if you're offended by foul language, you're gonna have a seizure just looking at the comment section of anything
Yeah,
ever.
I mean, YouTube, people get
Yeah.
offended over little things anyway, so they're like, oh, this mechanical review doesn't have a sound test. Like, what the fuck is a sound test? Like, would you really buy a mechanical keyboard because of the sound?
Yes.
Well,
I mean,
It makes a
We
sound.
figured out keyboards about 10, 20 years ago.
It's not a mechanical keyboard.
Exactly. It's not marketing.
That's why we buy mechanical keyboards.
Yeah.
It's not because they're durable and they're pretty. It's because they make nice clicky sounds.
Hey, some of us actually use the clicky noise for a reason.
Just let you know you hit your key.
Yep. Well, work bought me my
That's the
mechanical
whole
keyboard
point.
because I broke
Pretty much.
a membrane
I
keyboard.
mean, that's what it came down to for pro gamers, dude. They needed to know that they hit their key, that they did not hit a misstroke. And then it just kind of moved into typists that, they just go to typing and they want to know they didn't miss a stroke. Although some people type so freaking fast, I don't know how they could tell.
It's like my stepson. He's got this old, archaic, mechanical Dell keyboard.
Those are awesome. They're indestructible ones.
Yeah, and he was really upset. He recently moved out and moved into an apartment with his friends, and then they moved from that apartment to a larger apartment. And he brought his computer over, and I did some upgrades for him and all that. And I'm like, so I've got 3 or 4 keyboards laying around. I'm like, you want a keyboard? He's like, no. I'm like, dude, what's the matter with you? My keyboard broke, or I can't find it. Like, what do you mean you can't find it? It's in a box somewhere. He was just all like,
You know those old Dell mechanical keyboards, and what is it? The Compact makes a keyboard too that's really sought after. They sell for like $200.
Yeah, they're not cheap, dude. And what usually once people get them, they don't want another keyboard. It doesn't matter how
You can always
fancy it
find
is,
somebody
dude.
who doesn't know the value,
We have 15 at work.
I do. When I was at the beach, this last time I went to the beach, I went to a consignment store, and I found a box that had the original Atari 4500 SE in it, with a mechanical keyboard and a box full of games. I walked up to the front counter and said, "How much do you want for this?" And she said, $15 for the whole thing. I said, "Here's your $15. You just lost $4,000." And walked out the door.
nice.
That's how you get shot, Nick.
They had a bunch of guns in there too. I could have turned around and come back and said, "I'll trade you for some guns." I'll trade you for that.
I'll trade you for your life.
I still have it. I have it in the back. It works. It even works, and it has Zork and Zork 2.
Oh, jeez.
Awesome.
The biggest bleep of all, Hillary Clinton.
I've got more around here.
Hillary Clinton, more like email scandal.
I had fun. I had fun
watched it last night.
spiraling
It was
into it. It's fun.
I didn't know who those candidates were. Who was the guy who looks like Dwight Schrute? Who killed the guy?
Killed me?
The only 2 people that people know about are Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders.
Yeah.
One's too old, one's too corrupt.
They're both too corrupt.
Bernie's fucking like 70-something years old. Or so he says. I'm pretty sure it's like 200 motherfuckers old.
If he's 200, I'd be more comfortable with him, because then he's never going to die. There's clearly something,
Those presidents don't really do anything. They play golf like 300 days a year or something.
Well, they do something that causes them to age at 8 times the normal rate.
What the hell else are you gonna do when you're a freaking billionaire?
Just if what's his name? The old Pope. What was the old Pope's name? Benedict. If you ever see him run for president, just run. He's Palpatine.
I'm sorry, but we need to start nominating more engineers and scientists.
That's what annoyed me about the
and
debate
stuff.
yesterday. It was all like college. Like, what about like trades and stuff like that? Like, nobody talks about that. That's like what America is. I mean,
Not only that, but I mean, who was the last engineer in office? Wasn't it Eisenhower or Truman? Like, that was the last time we had a big infrastructure boom. Was when we had an engineer in office, and then ever since then, Ever since then, it's been businessmen and lawyers and businessmen and lawyers and businessmen and lawyers.
Just career politicians, yeah.
Yeah, it's like okay, dude, millionaire rich guy didn't give a shit about anybody. Another millionaire rich guy didn't give a shit about anybody, and they're like, I'm supposed to vote for one of these assholes, like someone who is so out of touch with reality with the rest of the working man that I'm supposed to believe every word that comes out of this man's mouth. Are you kidding me? That guy probably hasn't worked a day in his life.
Did you see the comparison videos of it was Reagan with the chainsaw, Bush was carrying away a bunch of like farm debris, so like branches and stuff like that, and then Obama's putting up drapes.
Oh,
Oh, I actually still have it here.
Tired of it all.
I hate those pictures though, because you can literally you can frame anything ever, seeing that they take tens of thousands of photos of the presidents. Like,
Right.
I mean, come on, you can make Hitler look good and Jesus look horrible if you just frame things right, the wrong way.
Well, he did beat those people in a thing.
Right.
In a temple. He had Twitter back then.
Yeah, right. See, there you go. He went super nuts, and then I'm sure Hitler held a dog at some point. Joe, what happened there? You can show us a really, really big macro shot of your keyboard.
Oh, I have the iPad leaned against my monitor.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I was trying to send Tom a message, and I should have just minimized my window, but yeah, I did things.
I did things.
I did
And they weren't right.
You
You
heard it
seen
here.
these cable clips from the Noxia? They're expensive as fuck, though.
Oh, I know.
They're all aluminum.
They're the most expensive ones.
19
Like $25
euros.
bucks.
Jesus Christ.
No, it's more than that because that's in euro.
Yeah.
So you're
Oh,
looking at
man.
$30 for the 24 pins.
Yeah, but they sure do look nice.
They do.
Oh yeah,
look nice,
they're beautiful.
But I will 3D
That's
print
like
the shit out
one
of those
piece.
pieces.
Yeah, that's
20 euros.
super 3D printable.
You guys with 3D printers should be fucking just printing this stuff and selling it on
kidding.
the site, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Although
kind of,
I'm
an
pretty
if
sure after the BS with E22 and iSmods, I bet you Nanoxia patent that design.
Yeah, you gotta patent it.
Yeah, guarantee you they did.
Well, Noxia can't really do too much because they took some designs from Primo Chill and Bits Power. That was the other big stink at Computex.
It's nothing new.
It's like, okay. Hey, Ron's thing for NVIDIA finally came out. That means Video 3 is coming out soon.
The alien?
Yeah, so he has the first 2 episodes up, but the third one never came out, and I had asked Lee, I was like, hey, is Ron not working on the third video, or what's up? He's like, well, NVIDIA has the rig, because they're using it for some trade shows and stuff. So until it's they're done with it, they told him not to release the third video. I found something for Dwayne. Vodkila.
Huh?
What?
The unholy child of vodka and tequila. It shows a skull wearing a sombrero.
Vodka and tequila?
so it's just watered down tequila then.
What? Don't ever say that again.
Well, I mean, watered down in the sense of the flavors you're getting, since vodka is just ethanol.
What?
Here you go, Dwayne. Apparently that
Technically,
Crystal-
all alcohol is ethanol, but depending upon what vodka is made from, whether it be snap frost grapes or potatoes or something else, it does impart a particular flavor upon it.
Yeah, but I
potatoes
mean,
are the ultimate food ever.
Although it wasn't until 1986, all vodka was supposed to be colorless and flavorless. It wasn't until after that that you started to getting the peach and the strawberries and all the flavors. I was a bartender for 16 years.
Oh,
If you
yeah.
want to know something about alcohol, you can ask me. I'll let you know.
I was curious. Have you ever heard of people reselling liquor bottles?
Yeah, that's illegal as hell.
Empties?
Oh, empty? Oh no, yeah. Empties? Oh yeah, they do. Dude, we used to take the empty ones. As long as you scratch off the TABC label, well, here in Texas, each bottle is labeled. We would take them and fill them with highlighter fluid, and turn around and sell them for $10.
Why highlighted with?
Because they would sit them on their presenters,
Mm-hmm.
They're bottle presenters, which is basically it's just a light underneath it, and the bottles would glow blue or pink or yellow or green. It's
Okay.
it's
To
just
show what liquor
it's
you
just well no all it does is catch your attention. That's all it's designed
Well,
to
it's
do.
like a lamp or a decoration or whatever.
have.
Right.
You don't need that much to catch my attention, though. So
Well, I mean, you got to think like in some of the places some of the clubs I worked in, we had up to 5,500 people in there at any particular given time with 22 bartenders on staff.
Mhm.
So we needed things to get your attention.
That's a hell of a strip joint.
It wasn't just, that's the crazy part. It wasn't a strip joint.
it was a brothel.
Nope.
Everything was really
it was a-
boring.
It was a nightclub, dude. Like
Okay.
on Thursday night they would have hip hop night. On Friday night they would have live Tejano concerts, like with like big time Tejano bands from Mexico. I had never heard of half of them, but apparently they were huge because they would sell the tickets for $45 a piece, and the place would sell out.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, it was crazy, dude. The place was massive. It was the interior portion was 25,000 square feet. And then there was an outdoor portion that was another 16,000 square feet, and it had a dedicated shot bar, a draft bar, a martini bar, and then a full service bar. And then in the inside area, we had 5 full service bars. It was nuts, dude. Like it was like Studio 54, man. Like we would get, but on the Latin side, because we got all the big time like Latin singers that would come, like Intocable and I can't even name half of
If you could
them.
name anything, I would just say yes.
But I mean, like the Harlem Globetrotters would come when they would play down here. Any celebrity that came and played down here, they would go to that club and get VIP. Like you could buy bottles in the VIP lounge, and they were $250 a piece for a bottle that you could buy at the liquor store for $20.
Yeah, but you get the real estate too, right?
Yeah, you got the VIP section, you got the setup, like anything you wanted to drink with your liquor, you got with it.
Yeah. It's a night out. You split it.
Yeah, but I mean that club was insane.
As someone who went to many quinceañeras, I can honestly say all the Mexican music are sounding the same.
Okay,
It all
you
starts
might-
with the same bum 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 bum.
You
bum,
might
bum.
you might know who Ramon Ayala is.
Probably.
He's like the biggest freaking Tejano singer down there. He's the one that actually sang about all the cartels and stuff like that. I bartended for his son's wedding.
Did they tip
They had
well?
at that bar. They called me up on a Sunday morning at like 9 o'clock in the morning and like, hey, we need a bartender for a private party. And I'm like, dude, I'm sleeping. And they're like, dude, it's Ramon Ayala's son's birthday. I mean, like, birthday wedding party. And I'm like, okay, I'm there. Because that guy just walks in throwing around $100 bills.
Must be
Like-
nice.
Oh, yeah, dude, the guy's
No
like,
pesos.
dude, his
All the
accordion
time I get to
cost,
do that
his
is
accordion
for the
cost
IRS.
$25,000.
Someone say something.
So, Nick, your camo article looked
Uh-huh.
pretty good.
Thank you.
I saw it the other day. Actually, kind of took a peek at it when it was still, kind of in process, and I was like, yeah, I can't wait to see what this looks like.
I should have put more patterns, but it's hard to tell. That's the hardest part when shooting a camo, especially the way I do, like digital camo, because
Mhm.
regular like military camo, you can just do lines of different colors,
Yeah,
splotches. But when you're using actual like templates and stuff like that, it's hard to judge how many are on there because once you code it over, it's hard to see the template. It's all red
Yeah,
now.
that was done.
Yeah, and it's like, and then I start peeling it off, and I'm like, oh, I should have put more. But if I want to put more, I'd have to start all over again.
Right.
But it still looks good. I'm gonna do this headset to match too.
Oh, nice.
So that'll be my next article for this month.
Did you
Cool.
put in the, I skimmed yours. Did you recommend putting a clear coat on it since you're going to be touching
Yes.
it so much? Okay.
Yes. Clear coat will do two things. It'll protect the paint from scratches, and it'll even it out because once you take all the templates out, you can feel the different levels of the paint. And when you clear coat it over, it smooths it out a little bit. Not a whole lot. I mean, you still gotta sand it down, but it smooths it a little bit. It actually, the texture helped because now my fingers don't slip off of the buttons, the mouse buttons.
Oh, nice.
It added that extra texture to the buttons. Because that mouse was they're on Smart, and it's got that smooth
Oh, okay.
finish on it, unlike the older Theron, which had the soft touch rubber on it.
Yeah, I think I have the original one here.
I have, yeah, that's what I'm using now.
Keeps
I have them
on
both.
dying on me for some reason, randomly. I need to swap out what
I think there's a firmware update for it.
yeah, it would just randomly like stop working, and then I would plug it in again after a few weeks and stop working again.
I think there's an update, a software update for it, a firmware update, because there was problems with it. I was having problems with the tracking on mine. It would randomly just look up. I'd be playing a game and I'd look at the ceiling and I'd be like, what the heck is going on here?
It scares the hell out of me whenever I see an article that I wrote that I vaguely remember getting posted. Because I'll write these things like weeks ago, and then all of a sudden it's
Oh
there,
yeah, I've had that before. It's like, who the fuck is this asshole? It's like, I've had that before. Too many times.
Crazy.
I think those are the best articles too. Sometimes when you're detached to it somehow, you just keep on going.
I'm really enjoying the fact that I could just keep writing about all the mistakes I've been making.
Those are actually the most helpful articles, dude. Because how else does someone are you really going to learn?
Yeah.
I can sit here and throw
Mistakes are the
information
best way
at
to
you
learn,
all
yeah.
day long, and I fill your head full of all kinds of theory, but until you actually go and do it, you're not learning a damn thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta make a mistake to learn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You gotta learn. I mean, there's so. I mean, it's in any process. Like right now, I'm learning how to work with metal more. Since I've been working with the brake, like I made the PSU covers for these two builds, and I'm learning that. But dude, I went through $50 worth of galvanized sheet metal to learn. So yeah.
Metalworking is definitely not a inexpensive hobby to get into.
That's why I'm using cheap 22 gauge galvanized sheet metal too. No, it's not even galvanized because it's all rusted.
6062 O grade is the best tasting one.
6062 T6.
So what is
The O grade, it has extra oxygen. Yeah.
what flavor of metalworking are you doing? Just like cutting and welding? Or?
Bending, cutting. I don't have a welder, so a lot of the cutting I do is with a grinder or with a Dremel.
If you're looking for something that wants to bend well, look for the O grade. But structurally, it can be dented in very easily.
Yeah, that's why I go with I usually go with the galvanized.
Have you considered just playing with scrap? I mean, for cutting and stuff.
Where am I gonna get it?
Do you not have a metal recycler around you?
No. I do, but they're not going to give you their metal.
Well, you can. Do you have a truck or anything? Because you just score like a washing machine or.
Yeah.
You look around.
Yeah, I'm not going to tear something apart. I don't have that time, dude.
Just carry a grinder.
Yeah,
In traffic, there's a truck in traffic, and you're
fun,
just peeling the panel with a
but
grinder.
I don't have time for that, dude. If it isn't ready to use, I can't use it. Or if it's like been used and I can reuse it somehow, but I don't have time to tear a washing machine apart for scrap metal. I would rather take it to the scrap metal yard and get money for it and go buy some material.
At that point, you're gonna get like a couple of bucks. Iron prices are very, 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 very high.
Oh, I don't need steel, aluminum.
Aluminum, yeah. Copper is where you get the meth money. That's it.
Oh yeah, dude. I have a friend of mine that's a contractor. When they get done building commercial buildings and stuff, he'll be like, "Here, you want a couple of spools of wire?" Sure.
What? How do you? Who is he working for that's just giving away like?
When they're done with the job, it's priced into the job. So usually
Right.
most places will keep it.
Yeah, that's
But down here, the construction companies are corrupt as hell. So when they put in a new bid, the bid includes the price of new copper coils. So they just chunk the old ones.
sounds organized crimey now.
Yep. So and usually the bid is for 10 more rolls than they need, because it's always better to order more than less.
Sure.
And after they're done running, the electricians will just leave a shopping cart with spools of wire in it. 12 gauge Romex, 2012 or 22 and 12.3. It's just, it would be crazy, dude. And it's solid, not stranded.
That's the really good stuff. 'Cause you can strip it super easy.
You just gotta
you
stick it
saying-
with a knife and strip it.
Yeah, and then that about doubles the price of the yard school. Man, someone's mechanic before it started work.
That would be Joe.
Yeah, there's a reason I killed like 8 membrane keyboards at work.
And they're just made out of rocks.
Oh, that's why I gave Norma the other Poseidon Z that I was using. She already killed her Parix.
Does she have nails that are impacting things?
She plays WoW, dude, and she's a hardcore arena PvPer. She's got 2200 rating in PvP, dude. She can kick most of the guys' asses. But like, she's just constantly like, she clicks keys so fast. I'm like, dude, you do know the server's not even registering 20 of those keystrokes.
That's really fast.
Yeah, she's fast. I mean, it's fast.
Oh man, Godzilla's gonna fight King Kong and another kaiju. That's
Actually, with that other keyboard that Ron sent me, that has the red switches aren't as loud as the blue switches. The blue switches are louder.
Yeah, I think the reds are linear.
They're linear.
Yeah.
They also don't have feedback. They don't have the feedback that the blues do.
The blue and the brown ones have feedback.
Yeah, the blues are more for typists. And the reds, I think hardcore gamers prefer reds, but I've seen a lot of them like blues too.
I like my
The
blue
red's
keyboard.
too light for my hand sometimes. So it's like
Yeah, that's
That's
what I
red
didn't
is
like
red.
about that one keyboard you sent me with the red switches. It was just like it didn't have the wrist rest. It didn't have the lift in the back, the riser.
Yeah.
That dude, come on.
how can you not have that?
I know a $5 keyboard.
They spent the money on getting double shot caps. That's that's what
They're all
they
the
spent it on.
Kales,
Like
Kale switches and the aluminum. I mean, it's a really nice keyboard. If it had a riser in the back,
although I don't know
I would
why
use
they
it.
did the multicolored LED was stupid. They should have just won the uniform LED or thing. I don't know what they're going for RGB or.
It's
with,
cool.
With LEDs, it's so cheap. It's a gimmick.
With the effects that like the extra keyboard effects, if you use those, it's cool. But if you just use the standard lighting, it looks wonky.
Yeah, looks pretty tacky with like multicolored tiers.
Yeah, especially with pink and
Yeah, and the bottom one was like pink. Yeah.
yeah, it was pink, and I was like,
You can always hack it. You can just mod it, replace the LEDs.
easier said than done, bro. It'd be easier
Yeah,
to replace
sure.
the entire switch.
You gotta desolder each. You gotta desolder each in the back.
Have you seen that guy that's making the keyboard? He
Yeah, you can
carved his own keyboard, and now he's wiring his keys.
There was a guy actually in
Wow.
VCrack. He's only charging like $20, and he will desolder. He will replace LEDs, individual LEDs, and it's only $20. I'm like, that's crazy cheap.
That's cheap.
Yeah.
That's I mean, well, especially for the equipment you gotta have a good soldering iron
Yeah,
for that.
yeah.
You can't use a cheap. I mean, I have a cheap $15 soldering iron, so
Yeah.
I usually use it for fixing pump leads at the most. Anything more detail oriented than that, I'm screwed.
It's also I mean, it's not just the iron. You got to have the right tips and the muscles.
Yeah,
you know.
I don't have the real fine pointed tip.
I've never figured out how to use the desoldering tool. It looks like a dildo.
You know what I use to remove solder? I use old syringes.
Yeah, that was actually.
That's what I do, because I just get it hot and I put a syringe and all the lead gets sucked into the syringe, and then it cools down instantly. You open the syringe and just dump out the lead, and it's ready to go for another turn. Or solder. It's
so
not
Where
lead.
do you get
solder.
old
Next
syringes from?
Dental offices, you can.
With the hundreds of liquid cooling systems that I've got.
Oh, okay, that context of syringe. I'm thinking like
No.
heroin junkie syringe.
No.
Hardcore.
No.
You can go
Or
to
you get a
like,
soldering iron like this one.
Yeah, see, that's the torch. That's the torch one. It uses.
Oh, this is a seed.
Oh yeah, that's right. The seed. That's the electric one, right?
This is the digital one.
Yeah, the digital electric one.
It heats up to 400. Is it 400 C and yeah, it's 400 C in like 10 seconds.
It must
It's
have a
starting to
bunch of.
go.
It probably uses capacitors to do that. Yeah.
It's really cold right now. But yeah, it's already at like 250. Yeah, it's smoking.
Yeah, my soldering gun sucks. I have to hold the trigger for like 3 minutes before it gets to the point where it can melt solder.
You should get I have a little base weller, with the base and the button and all that. As long as you don't leave it on overnight, it's pretty nice to just flip it on,
The nice thing about this one is if I do forget and I have it sitting in the cradle, it'll power down.
Oh, after an hour it shuts itself off?
No, it's like 5 minutes where it detects that, because when you heat up solder, it does lose some of the temperature because it's being transferred into the solder itself. So if it, for a while, just sees it's sitting at the same temperature, it powers itself down. And that's like after 5 minutes.
It's pretty nice.
Pretty cool.
I mean, if you're...
It was like $60, but it was worth it.
Random question, what do you guys think of, most, I assume the vast majority of case windows are non-flexible acrylic, right? Like the 1/8 or whatever.
Depends on how thick it is.
But it's rigid acrylic, right? Rigid transparent.
For the most part.
You can buy at like hobby stores thick, wobbly stuff that I think it would be a lot easier for a hobbyist to cut. Would that be a big faux pas to using it?
Go to Home Depot and get Optiplex, man.
Keep in mind, not all Home Depots offer it.
It's what?
Not all Home Depots offer it.
Oh, that's true. Like, the one
here has
or Lowe's. Most Lowe's have a, but like what I use is, dude, it's not even. It's like 1/16 of an inch thick Optiplex, and it's perfect for windows. Man, if it's not going to support any kind of weight, then that's all you need. And that stuff, all you have to do is score it and snap it.
What do you use to score it?
A knife.
They actually have a.
They make actual
those are-
acrylic scoring tools,
Yeah.
but I use a hook bladed X-Acto knife. Just make a straight edge, score it, and you can just snap it on the edge of a table.
Pretty much the same. That's all it is. If you go and you buy a cutter, pretty much got the same thing.
Jesse Palacio made his out of an old Hexaw blade.
Yeah. All you gotta do is just get that nice clean score. It's like cutting glass.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Where you
exactly
get that
like
little
cutting
ridge in
glass.
there and you just go pop.
The pain in the ass with the scoring is you gotta clamp it. You gotta have a metal ruler that you're not gonna cut into. You gotta clamp it down. I'm just thinking, is it idiotic to recommend the film for people who just want to throw up a window, who don't want to invest in a pair of clamps, a cutter, $20 piece of plastic, that sort of thing.
That's why I was saying go to Home Depot, because like the one I have here, they'll cut it for you. to the
Oh,
size
really?
that you
See, I
want
don't. We don't have
Like, yeah,
that.
I could walk in, spend $22 on a sheet, and have them make me two window panels. Like, cut it in half. I got 2 window panels. Go home.
Yeah, to my knowledge, my local one will only do wood. So that's
well,
why.
when we
need
have
to
to
move.
we'll do it. Yeah, sorry, bro. The Lowe's does it too, but there's not as many personnel, so you end up waiting half an hour for somebody to cut it for you. Well, I don't have that problem. I use a bandsaw, so
Yeah.
I get it any length and just rip it through the bandsaw.
And then it smells like root beer, right?
No.
That's what I've had whatever I've been cutting in the past.
I
You wear a mask?
Yeah, I wear a mask.
Yeah, it ends up when you get hot, it just smells like root beer.
I work in an enclosed area, so I wear masks and goggles and all that. I'm the safety freak. I think that's going to be my next article, is a safety article.
No, I'm writing an article about face shields. Get it out of my...
I'm just going to go over general safety practices.
We've established a non-easy truce.
So that means that Nick's gonna do the what you should do, and Michael's gonna don't do this articles.
Yeah.
The yin and the yang, right?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Well, that's exactly it. Because when I was coming in as a word, like I'm obviously not an expert in a lot of things. So
That'll work out perfectly, because in my article I can be like, if you want to know what not to do, check out this article.
you want to look up for the pitfalls that your idiot brain will make you think is a good idea. And no, I love having a face shield, because you can use it for anything you can use it for anything where anything's flying, anything's spraying, bubbling, whatever. You put it over your face.
That's the one thing I don't have, is a face shield.
You can
I
fight
probably
you
need to
in
get
real life.
one.
Yeah, no, it's great because when you cut it with a Dremel, at least my Dremel, it wants to throw sparks right into your face. And
Well,
it's just like,
then turn it around.
but then I have to cut with my left hand.
You need to practice more.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, but you know what I'm saying, right? Like if I'm cutting like this, it's going to be shooting right in my eye holes and my nose.
Get
So
stronger eye holes.
Your eye holes are weak.
my eyes don't callus very easily, unfortunately.
My face is a giant callus at this point.
Yeah,
Dude,
you got the
all-
Batman complexion.
All I know is every time I go to the dollar store, I end up buying 3 more fucking sets of safety goggles, because I can never find the set I just had in my
You can never lose a face shield because it's as big as a human face, approximately.
You don't live here, bro.
Is it an episode of Hoarders? Like everywhere outside a frame, it's just stacks of garbage.
No, stacks of radiators and cases and.
Sounds like you need to have a eBay liquidation sale.
I actually I'm working on a business plan to start a computer shop here in town,
Oh, man.
because there is no competition. Tiger Direct closed down. The only competition I have is Geek Squad. And I can make a living off of their mistakes.
Yeah, they charge
So are
like
you,
Oh yeah, they charge $350 to reformat your hard drive.
just to like.
so you're talking like repairs or what?
Actually, we'll do repairs, but I'm gonna offer water cooling and stuff like that. I want to get to the more boutique end of it, because you can anybody can go down to Walmart or Conn's or Best Buy and go spend $300 on a box. Anybody can do that.
Especially with
and you can
you
get them
guys
anywhere.
have Amazon Prime. I mean, you could.
I will be the only person in town that could provide you with a custom solution made specifically to your needs.
Sounds like me with the.
Yeah, like I've got a couple of guys that I'm looking at working with, and we're doing the whole consultation services. We even have it. We've even got I have a couple of really good customers that they've had me build several machines for them. So when they come in for repairs or upgrades, I give them a loaner. Like here's another machine that you can play games on while I'm working on your machine for the next 3 days.
Don't tap.
Because I know what it's like to not have my gaming computer for 3 days and want a game. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Plus, you can entice them if you give them loaner that's high end stuff.
Ah, now you're talking.
That's the key to bringing somebody in.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's what this one is. This one's going to be a loaner for a guy that I've built a couple of computers for already, and he's wanting to upgrade because he wants to start streaming and all that good stuff. I said, well, you need a better processor, you need a better graphics card. That 550 Ti ain't gonna cut it anymore, buddy.
I had a guy hit me up on Instagram when I started uploading those pictures of like my advanced cable management, where it's like there are no extra wires, everything is run to an exact. He wants to buy a case, power supply, and all the fans that he needs for the case. He wants me to make him everything neat. He asked me for a figure. I was like, well, what case you're looking at? It was some Case Labs case, a Corsair power supply, and a bunch of Noctua fans. And I was like, it's going to be like $1,200. He's like, okay.
Yep.
There's people out there that will buy it.
Yep.
There's always a market. You got to remember that. But can you survive the market?
Yep.
You know, can you survive between for the next to the next one? Because it might be the first one you can do, but it might be 2 months before the next one. But you might get lucky and go boom and do the next. You get with the right crowd. It's always when you get into that certain click. Because you might do something, the same thing with like to do carpentry and stuff. So you go over and you do this lawyer's house, right? And you put in all this cherry wood and all the oak and all that crazy nice stuff, and his friends come over and say, oh, I'd like to have that done to my house. And when you get that click, that money flows. But once that stream runs out,
well, that's what my dad does is carpentry.
That's one of the things I'm doing. There's a couple of cyber cafes here, but not really. They're gaming arcades, but they use computers, and they have basic HP box systems. And I'm like, dude, you would get so many more customers coming over there if they knew they could game on a custom liquid-cooled, badass high-end rig. You know what I mean? So you could turn around and sell your game time for $3 an hour instead of $1 an hour, and they would pay for it.
Oh yeah.
It's like a LAN party place?
Yeah, that's basically what it is. It's basically a storefront. They sell energy drinks and snacks, and you buy game time by the hour. They sell it $1 an hour. You could sit down and play computers, and they have 5 on the blue side and 5 on the red side, and they have tournaments and stuff like that all the time. There's actually 3 of them in town now.
Yeah, there's a couple here. I mean, there's one here that does that, and I also saw one in town that had a trailer.
Yeah, there's another one that's doing that, but it's all consoles.
Yeah.
He's got them all behind a plexiglass thing on the side of his trailer, and there's just like a deck pops out that's got all the controllers on it, and you just walk up and grab a controller and play.
So there's this
it's a LAN center. They just call them out here the LAN center.
Mobile LAN center.
Yeah.
Fun game though.
They
stopped like just short of $10 million in their first 30 days.
It's getting late for me, so I'm gonna have to take off.
Okay, see you, Nick.
See you guys later.
Me too.
All right, man. Take it easy.
Are we really broadcasting this?
Yeah, I don't. Most of these conversations have a point. This is just all over the place.
A lot more shambolic than usual.
The true essence. We're getting to the true essence of a podcast, though. Because that's basically what it is, a bunch of guys bullshitting.
Yeah, but I mean, I listen to the Tested podcast, and there's usually like 2 or 3 topics, and they pound through in half an hour.
Unless our goal is to lower our 30 average to 15.
We're going backwards.
We're just reaching, guys. Come on, we're just reaching.
500 topics in 50 minutes.
Alright, guys. I'll see you guys later.
Alright, man. Take it easy.
PD.
Hey, so how was the video? You liked it? I know I did. So, go ahead and subscribe. I mean, it's not that bad. I mean, it's one click. I mean, you've clicked on worse things before.